Morning guys from Tampa Bay. Oh, it's nice to be back on the bike. Today is one of the last days I have completely free, so I'm going for a ride. And I'm gonna buzz by the new place and I'll show it to you, at least from the outside. Oh man, tons and tons of stuff going on. And I finally see the light at the end of the tunnel. As of right now, we are at T-minus 5 days to move. And it's been a struggle to get there. We were supposed to move in 2 days, but we just had some major setbacks because of our buyers. So long story short, the VA screwed up some of the buyers' paperwork and had to push the close back at the last second 2 more days. Unfortunately, it was after we had cleared to close and we'd gone and scheduled everything. Now, mind you, we had to schedule everything at the last second as it was. We were at T-minus 6 days when we got clear to close. Had to find a mover that had a slot open and was barely able to do that. They had to bump somebody else to get us in. Switch all the utilities. Stop everything at our place, open up new accounts because it's not everything transferring over. It's a bunch of new stuff. Switch over internet, schedule an install date for them. We have furniture being delivered, appliances being delivered, a whole bunch of stuff. The mail, yada, yada, yada. You know, the usual moving stuff. And then they go and pull this at the last second. And the VA would not work with us, or our realtor basically told her to go kiss my ass. We're not doing anything, and that's the way it is. You can deal with it. So with 6 days to close, they bumped us. But we scrambled, spent another day rescheduling everything, which was not fun. And just last night finally got confirmation that the last thing was shifted back over. So from here on, as far as I know, we are 100% ready and it's just waiting on paperwork. Tomorrow we have a final walkthrough at the new place with our seller. Excited to do that, just I guess so he can show us the place and show us how to work the fireplace that we couldn't figure out when the inspector was there and all that kind of good stuff. But other than that, I don't really know what we're doing. We've already seen it and everything. There's, you know, just meeting him, I guess. So that's fine. Then we're going to basically pre-close on our existing house. We're signing all the paperwork, and we have to do that just because of juggling everybody's schedules. You know, we've got our buyers, us, the wife is a teacher. She doesn't get out until 3 o'clock, and then, you know, has to go over to one of the title companies, yada, yada, yada. But we're signing all of our paperwork for our current place 1 day ahead of the actual close. And the reason it's not just closing on that date is because the buyer won't have funding until that last day. So that's how close they're cutting it on their side. They will not have their money until the very last second, which is fine. Not complaining. As long as it's there, we're good. I don't care. So then the next day we do the close on the new house. And right after that, we'll probably be done, I would imagine, by 6 or 7. We're starting both of them at 3:30 on both days. And then we're going to start moving over on our own that night. We're going to do at least 2 trips so I can ride the 2 bikes over and take a couple carloads of fragile stuff. Obviously, my wife will be driving me back so I can grab the other bike. And then crack of dawn that next morning, right after the final close, the moving truck arrives. We'll pack everything up. Should only take a couple hours to actually load the truck and leave, do a quick sweep clean, and we'll be done. And we should be completely moved in and done with the moving truck by lunch. Should only be a 4.5 hour move. We are 99% packed. I've got 15 big plastic bins all packed up, ready to lift. Not much furniture left in the house because we're completely refurnishing with new stuff in the new house. And I got a whole bunch of stuff to order after I get in there. I didn't pre-buy anything I didn't have to. I did buy a lot of new stuff only because I took advantage of some killer sales for Labor Day. But anything that was stretching after our move date, I waited on. So I do have a whole bunch of boxes of new stuff that I'm not even opening that'll just move over to the new place. But as soon as we get in there, I've got some huge orders to place. And that'll be delivered as soon as possible, but I'm not really worried about it because I've got like a week of painting to do the very first thing once we get in there. So something I forgot in the last update here on Two Wheel Obsession, the day before I did that last update video, my wife was in a car accident, actually about a mile up the road here. This is the way she goes to work. Her new office, her school, is right by the new house. So she's got a pretty good drive here until we move. It takes her about 45 minutes in the morning. And this is State Road 54. It's a great road, but it is being developed extremely quickly. And they're just lagging behind a little bit in putting in lights and such. So it's getting very busy and very fast in some areas during rush hour. Well, she was up here in not the next light, but the one after it. She was stopped at the red light, you know, in a bunch of traffic. She was the last one. And a guy came barreling up and wasn't looking. Apparently he was high, smashed into her, pushed her into the car in front of her, and then that car went into the front of the other guy. So it was a 4-car accident. And then he took off. And no, we didn't have a dash cam, but as soon as she gets her car back, we will. Already ordered it. It's a huge problem around here with hit and runs and no insurance drivers, because Florida just basically has no enforcement. You know, it's really a not give a shit state. It really is. So they were all on the side of the road. I was on like an hour of sleep. I stayed up and got the call from her and ran up here to see what's going on. She was okay. Took place right here, coming up. And we're standing there and looking at the damage and everything, and it wasn't good. I mean, it's a Kia Soul, same as my green one, and front and rear damage, and it didn't look too drivable, so I gave her my car to go to work. I hobbled the thing back home. But luckily for everybody, the guy came back about a minute before the cops showed up. He pulls up and he apologized for running. He said he panicked. He was in his early 20s, driving on his I guess it was his mom's truck and her insurance policy, and he did have insurance. So needless to say, everyone was very relieved. However, the guy is still a complete piece of shit, because now he's trying to say that my wife, who was stopped in line and everybody corroborated what happened, said that she cut him off and that's why he hit her. I mean, just completely making bullshit up to try to get out of this. Well, he already got slammed and his insurance company has already accepted 100% responsibility, so it's too late for him to change his story anyway. Just a piece of white trash, redneck hillbilly driving a 30-year-old piece of crap pickup straight out of the trailer park. I'm actually amazed he had insurance, to be honest with you. So we're going through, on top of all the house stuff, this nightmare with the insurance. Initially, everything was great. They took a look at it real quick, said it was totaled, said, okay, we're just waiting for the appraisal, and we'll cut you a check and you can go buy another car. Okay, great. Well, it's been 13 days now, and now all of a sudden they say, oh, you know what, it wasn't as bad as we thought, we're going to fix it. Okay, great. It took you 2 weeks to figure that out? Real nice, thanks a lot. Fine, tow it up to our dealer, fix it. So they said it was up there 2 days ago. Our dealer calls us last night going, yeah, we just got this car, what's going on? They just towed it and didn't even give them any kind of notice or anything. So it's just really unprofessional. We're with Progressive right now, by the way, for anyone wondering. First time we've ever had to deal with a claim with them. We've had them for, I don't know, 3 or 4 years now in a row. And this is how it's going. So take that with a grain of salt. Not great. Not great at all. Luckily, we've got enough vehicles to spare, so she's just been using my car. And when I need it, I've got the bikes. No big deal. But if you're in a situation where it would be a big deal, you better have rental coverage on your policy, let me tell you. I actually have rental policy coverage on my bikes, but not the cars, because we have vehicles to spare, and if something happens with the car, it's probably going to be around home. But if something happens on a bike, it's probably going to be on a trip, and I'm going to need transportation, so that's why I've only got it on my bike policies. Love this quick shifter, man. Heeltech did an absolute fantastic job with this. Get a lot of questions about it. It's just perfect. It's like it's absolutely from the factory. It's as good as any Ducati, any BMW. Absolutely seamless upshifts. It does do downshifts, but I am not using it because it does not have an auto blip. There is no auto blip available for the FJR, so I always use the clutch for downshift. But upshifts, man, just butter. It's like a video game. You just click the thing with your foot and it shifts. You really can't tell other than the sound. Really great. This is such a great time to be out riding. The sun's not up yet. It's still nice and cool. We're at 77 degrees, which is pretty much what it is all night long. Humidity's still relatively low. It's about 60%. It's just gorgeous out. I'll tell you what, in a couple hours, it's gonna be hot. So, quick update on my keto progress. I hit my goal. I've been doing it for almost 6 weeks now, and I'm back into the 250s, back down to full pant size. Everything fits again normally. I'm not going back off it and going crazy, but I did finally break it last night, meaning I had some carbs, and that should kick me out of ketosis. I'll tell you what, keto works. I mean, you can't deny it. It does work. I'm down almost 20 pounds in under 6 weeks, and it was super simple. I could definitely not do it long term, though. I could do it for a month at a time, you know, if I want to just trim back down. All it really takes is 3 days of fasting to kick you into it, which surprisingly wasn't that big of a deal. Yeah, there was a rough day there on day 2, but that's really about it, and it's just about habit. But it does work. Now, the reason I couldn't do it long term is not because it's difficult, because it's extremely boring. Oh my God. You're pretty much eating the same thing or a variation of the same thing every freaking day. And you can't eat out. There are very, very few places, especially fast food, that even have anything as part of the menu that is compatible. And even then, it's usually like 1 or 2 ingredients of something. Like, I'd go to Arby's and I'd get a bowl of roast beef. That's it. So, you know, it's like the regular roast beef sandwich without a bun. So they just put it in a bowl for you. That's it. That's pretty much all you can have from the entire restaurant. Forget anything from Taco Bell or McDonald's or anything like that. I mean, you'd be getting like a hamburger patty. But even with that, there's sugar in it. So it's pretty much eating at home, prepping your meals and that kind of stuff. And it's just, oh, I can't eat any more chicken, and I'm just on beef overload. You know, it's just too monotonous. Salad, yeah, it's great until you're on your like 50th salad with the same dressing, and it's a really plain, boring dressing. I just can't do it, man. I need variety. So now I'm just going to go back to a very low carb but normal diet, and we'll see if I can maintain. I'll just have to tweak that and adjust here and there. But, you know, it did what I wanted it to do. It dropped me off quickly to where I wanted to be again for now. I still want to drop some more, but not on the keto diet. So this is my new main strip. This is US 41, and this will be what I take to pretty much get anywhere. Going north right now, and the complex is just a few miles up, or neighborhood I should say. This is quite different from US 19, which I'm used to. A lot less congested. It's strange at night because these street lights aren't always on, so it can be a quite dark drive with all the businesses closed. 19 is always very brightly lit. He's doing a north run. That's Aaron Cutoff right here, which is pretty much the start of it. Beautiful road. Goes on up and ends at 52, and from there you start all the twisties in the local neighborhood. So I am literally a mile away from the start of the best roads in the area. They're still not great. I know, they're not mountain roads, but best in the area for sure, by far. Speaking of mountain roads, this move completely disrupted my plans for the trip this fall. I was going back up for a week, but totally worth it, no regrets. I'll just plan for something in the spring. Maybe over the winter, I don't know. I wouldn't be going up into the mountains in the winter, but maybe out west. I'll have to think about it. But I was planning on being up there right now with the kids just back into school. That is a great time to go up there, where you don't have the crowds, you don't have a lot of the vacationers, especially in the parks. So if you want to go through the Smoky Mountain National Park, way better to do it just after school's in session. Trust me. Ah, the new neighborhood. Gorgeous. It has all the amenities and rules that we both wanted, and it doesn't have a gate. I really don't like gated communities. They are such a pain in the ass to get in and out of, especially with guests coming over. So this is a huge complex. There are actually separate themed neighborhoods. I'm going to try going in this way. There's two ways you can get into my street. There's themed neighborhoods. This one is the retro neighborhood, so everything has a certain look. You've got these trees that are growing over the road, and everything's relatively young, so they're not huge trees right now, but they will be. But all the homes in each neighborhood have certain features about them. Is that it? No. It's around here somewhere. I can't remember. Oh, there it is. There she is. Just a few more days. A few more days. So I got some big palms. No more huge trees around the house. This is just this little one. I don't even have to do anything with it. That's part of the neighborhood's responsibility. No cicadas. Nature preserve out the back. Can't wait to show you guys after everything is done. It goes way far back. It's not real wide. It's kind of like the opposite of ours now. Ours is wide and shallow. This one's deep and kind of narrow. Love it. Okay. Oh, good. They put in new sod. They had that completely torn up till just a few days ago because they put in a new pool, and they had that torn up for construction. Now it's back to grass. Cool. That looks good. There's a permit flag. Okay, I can get out here. Look at that. Oh, wait. Is that a... What is this? That is a cul-de-sac. Got a cop that lives here. That's cool. Hillsboro. We are not in Hillsboro County, though. We are still in barely Pasco. But a lot of them that work in Hillsboro live in Pasco because it's so much cheaper. But Hillsboro pays so much better. Same with teachers. Same with some county workers, although they're starting to restrict that to you have to live around where you work for some government jobs. Which kind of sucks because the cost of living is so much higher in Pinellas and Hillsboro compared to Pasco. And obviously, some parts of Pasco, the further basically east you get, it's really nice. It's redneck and trashy on the other side, where we are now. Whew! Smells like rotten eggs. It's reclaimed water, which is good because it's super cheap to water the lawns. But it really stinks when they're on. And yes, that means treated sewage. It's clean enough to water with, but you do not drink it. Well, I'll tell you what, can't wait to get in. I have so many plans and so much to do. I'm just sitting here twiddling my thumbs now for a couple days. And then things are in motion, and then the fun really begins. Painting is going to take me at least a week. Got a whole bunch of deliveries to arrange, more stuff to buy. Got a whole studio to set up in the back. I got to completely do the garage. I have a big storage system and workbench and all that kind of stuff coming. Figure out how to set that up, figure out all my lighting. I got the new Ryobi garage door with all the attachments. Actually picked that up early because it was on a huge sale. I saved 70 bucks on it. Couldn't say no to that. I'm doing the whole house as a smart home, so I've got a lot of stuff to buy for that, but I need to wait till I get in there to figure out, you know, which switches need a three-way, which can be normal, which I want to do bulbs. I've got the Logitech Ultimate system and hub for the home theater. Got a whole bunch of Alexas, Echo Dots. Got a Wink Hub 2, just going crazy. Why not? Gonna be here a long time. That's it, guys. I'm gonna continue my ride here, go down here and cut off and have a nice ride and have a great morning until the sun comes up. And then I'm gonna have a cigar. See you next time. Nice. Just about finished with the repaving job.